Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Well, since last year, I have been covering the conflict in the Amhara region, though the issues of Amhara are being covered on this channel since the start of the Tigray war. I saw the rebirth of Fano last year. I made some predictions. I proposed dialogue. Whatever happened in the region internally between the government and Fano, we covered each and every aspect of the armed conflict in Amhara. And I always say that the Fano fighters, Fano groups have come a long way. I still maintain this position. But there are some areas where Fano groups failed. Their failure is very visible. So, which areas? I have identified at least 6 areas where Fano groups failed in the last 1 year. I'll have a look at these 6 areas one by one. But before that, it does not mean that Fano as a movement has collapsed. No. It does not mean that all Fano fighters are to blame for this failure. I wouldn't blame a Fano fighter for this failure. I would blame commanders. I would call it a failure of Fano commanders when it comes to these 6 areas. We can talk about Fano's gains too in the last 1 year. Maybe in a separate video, we'll do that too. But in this video, we're only focusing on the failures. Why did they fail? Where did they fail? First failure by Fano in the last 1 year is that they could not get any internal, Ethiopian allies. I know they talked to Agos, they talked to Gumas, they talked to southern Ethiopia groups, they talked to Somalis, they talked to Afars, they talked to Tigrayans, but they don't have a single ally in Ethiopia. They're alone, just like they were last year. So a year has passed. If they have future plans of controlling Addis Ababa, of introducing a new government, they cannot do that alone. They need allies. They try to find allies mainly for armed activities. They try to attract fighters from Benishangal, Gomal, Somali region, Afar. Their alliance has not been political. They've been trying to form a military alliance for armed activities. So this alliance is not working. They couldn't find any allies. What about political allies? While they don't have a representative political body, how can they talk to Tigrayans or Gumas or Somalis or Afars? They need to have a representative body with its political demands. Then this body can negotiate on these demands with other Ethiopian ethnic groups and groups in the regional states. So it has not happened. Fano, as last year, is alone. A failure of its commanders. We cannot blame an ordinary Fano fighter for this failure. Ordinary Fano fighters don't make decisions. Decisions made by Fano commanders. Secondly, weapons, viewers. One of the advantages of Fano fighters and advantages of this guerrilla war launched by Fano is that they don't have to carry heavy weapons with them. They don't have heavy weapons. They are mobile. They can easily change their location. That is why it is difficult to just completely crush all Fano fighters. but they have not been able to diversify their arsenal. They could have acquired perhaps more lethal, more precise small arms. We only know that they have acquired mortars. They could not go beyond Kalashnikovs, AK-47, or a few LMGs. They could have done that. They could have acquired more modern uh, heavy weapons, short range weapons, anti tank weapons, man bats. We're not aware of that. They could have acquired small scale drones as well. They could have used the drones. Commercial drones can be bought, I think, easily. They have access to Sudanese border, but they could not. Either it is due to funding issues or they don't have planning. By the way, I wouldn't blame Tafra Mamu for these 6 failures. He joined late, just a few months ago. He can be judged, I think, after a year. So we should give him some time. Failure does not lie with Tafra Mamu. Zamin Akasi is to blame, Skandar is to blame, Mere Vododo is to blame, Asafint, all to blame, but not the new ones. So, no more modern, more lethal weapons could be acquired by Fano. There may be funding issues were one of the factors. In the name of Fano, people have been minting money, people abroad. Diaspora members, those who claim to be champions for Amhara cause, they have been minting money, they have been making money. They collected money, they raised money, they did not send money. Mere Vodajo said a few months ago that he did not receive a penny from abroad. If you don't have money, how can you buy weapons? You cannot buy weapons. So, second, I think failure is that their arsenal is as outdated as it was last year. Thirdly, unity, viewers. I think they were more united at the start of this struggle last year. There were no major differences. I mean, Akasi and Skandar had no big differences. And then, as they started getting bigger, we saw fight for power, fight to control Fano groups. And this conflict is still ongoing, though I think it has decreased a little, but in recent months, we saw deadly power struggle in Gujum, in parts of Shoa as well. Gondar, we don't know if it is fully united or not. Gondar Fano groups are sometimes mistrusted because of links between some of them and government. Since they're not united, they don't have a representative body to talk to other ethnic groups. They don't have a representative body with their main political demands. They don't have a representative body to talk to international community. At some point, they will have to talk to international community. International community wants to talk to Fano fighters. The international community wants to know what Fano's demands are. How can Fano talk when there's no unity, there's no representative body to lead this organization? Third failure. Fourth failure. I don't know if it's the failure of Fano or the failure of those who are backing Fano. Split diaspora. I would blame diaspora for this failure. Amhara diaspora miserably failed. Some sections of the diaspora supported Fano, they raised money for Fano, but the money went into the pockets of those who were raising money in the name of Fano. Where is David Wolde Georges? He emerged as a champion of this Amhara struggle. made money, and now he's nowhere to be seen. Abtamo, others. So diaspora is split. That is why no major protests. Now, Fano, Amhara diaspora community members are starting to protest after people are dying. Fano waters are dying in drone strikes in Amhara. How many big protests were taken out by Amhara diaspora community in the last 1 year? Big protests in US, in UK, in Europe. I have not seen any major protests with thousands of participants. I think Tigrayans took out bigger rallies. So Amhara diaspora failed. Either it is not united or it does not agree with Fano's narrative. Yes, there are people who love Fano. I know. I talk to people from different parts of the world. People love Fano and they're ready to sacrifice for Fano in diaspora. Joining Fano, they come to Ethiopia, risk their lives. But I'm talking about majority. Majority of Amhara diaspora members remained split, I would say. Fifth failure of Fano is that Fano groups wanted to take this conflict from Amhara to Oromia. We saw that last year, at the start of this year too, that Fano groups carried out several attacks in Oromia, in Horogodoro Vallaga, in North Shore Oromia, in East Shore Oromia. They penetrated. They tried to organize local Amharas there. They carried out attacks, launching their attacks from Amhara region, entered Oromia, organized Amhara a little there, but they were pushed. They were pushed out of Oromia and they're not now in Oromia. No attacks were found in Oromia in recent months. Similarly with Addis Ababa. Their stated goal, they have not been able to carry out any attacks in Addis Ababa in recent months. They managed to have some presence there, but their people were killed there. Rosenai was killed, others were killed, and now they have almost they have not carried out any attacks, any activities in Addis Ababa recently. So their efforts of expansion into Oromia, into Addis Ababa, the capital, I think failed. There are 6 areas of failure for Fano fighters. What are their gains? Maybe in some next video. Thanks for watching.